Dear students, today my topic is lens and the diseases of lens. There are some quick facts to remember. Diameter of the lens, it is about 9 mm. Radius of curvature of anterior surface is about 10 mm. That of posterior surface is about 6 mm. During accommodation, both become 6 mm. We will teach accommodation in our refraction chapter. There are 64% water and 35% protein in lens. Refractive power of lens is about 18 diopter, which is one-third of the total convergence of eye. Lens is responsible for 35% of total convergence. Next. There are some quick facts to remember about the anatomy of the lens. The thickest part of the capsule is the pre-equatorial region of the anterior capsule, and thinnest is the posterior capsule. There is no epithelium at the posterior capsule. Only just beneath the anterior capsule there is a layer of germinal epithelium from where the lens fibers generate. Transparency of the lens is because of the regular arrangement of the fibers, and there is absence of organelles. And what is cataract? Any opacity in the lens or its capsule is called cataract, which may be symptomatic or may not be symptomatic. Abnormality of the proteins and the disorganization of the fibers causes cataract. There are three biochemical changes. One is hydration, that occurs in diabetes, where the permeability of the capsule is increased, and also in trauma, where the capsule is injured and hydration occurs in between the lens fibers. Second one is denaturation of proteins, where the amount of insoluble protein is increased. This occurs in younger lens fiber or in the cortex of the lens. Number 3 is slow sclerosis. This occurs in the older lens fiber or in the nuclear part of the lens. What are the etiological factors? Number 1 is developmental. Number 2 is senility. Next, some vitamin and amino acid deficiencies. There are some endocrine factors like diabetes and parathyroid tetany. Some drugs also causes cataract. You have to remember always steroid. Systemic steroid is responsible for posterior polar cataract. Some topical myotics also causes cataract. There are some other drugs like amiodarone, gold, chlorpromazine, etc., which causes cataract. Due to toxicity of some material causes cataract like galactose, thallium, naphthalene, etc. Heat, dehydration, smoking, UV rays also causes cataract. There are some disease of the eye which is called intrinsic disease of the eyes like iridocyclitis, retinal detachment, retinitis pigmentosa, also responsible for cataract. These cataracts are called complicated cataract or secondary cataract. There are some systemic diseases also responsible for cataract like Marfan syndrome, Down syndrome, etc. Next, what are the symptoms of cataract? Most common symptom is painless gradual dimness of vision. There are certain special occasion where worsening of the vision in bright light. In some conditions, there is improvement in the vision in bright light. When there is central lentil opacity, in that case, during pupil constriction due to bright light, there will be dimness of vision. In these cases, where pupil become dilated in low light, patient vision is better. Frequent changes of glass. There are refractory changes occurs gradually when cataract progresses. Usually there is myopia due to high refractive index. In some cases there will be hypermetropia also, as in diabetes, where lens become homogeneous and it loses its meniscus action. Number 4 is glare. Number 5 is colored halos around light. Monoocular diplopia or monoocular polyopia may happen during cataract. And one special thing is second sight of vision. What is second sight? When the lens become cataractous, its refractive index is increased. In that case, the patient becomes myopic. So, in these patients, they usually do not require any glasses for near vision. So, they became happy and they say that my old sight has been restored. That is called the second sight of vision. Some signs. Always perception of light and projection of rays is quite good in cataract. There are some color changes at the pupil. In immature cataract, it becomes grayish white. In mature cataract, it becomes pearly white. In nuclear type of cataract, it becomes brown to black. Slit lamp examination after full dilatation reveals the type of cataract. We have to be very careful because during dilatation in the patients with shallow anterior chamber there may be precipitation of acute angle closure glaucoma. What are the stages of cataract? There are two types of cataract mainly. One is cortical, another is nuclear. In cortical cataracts, first stage is lamellar separation, where the lamella become separated due to some hydration, but it is not clinically significant. Next stage is incipient cataract, where triangular opacities from the periphery goes towards the center. There are two types of incipient cataract. One is cuneiform and another is cupliform. We will discuss it in the clinics. Next stage is immature cataract, where the pupil became grey or greyish white. Next is mature cataract, where all fibers become opaque and the pupil becomes pearly white. Next stage is hypermature cataract. There are two types of hypermature cataract. One is Morgagnian and another is sclerotic. In Morgagnian cataract, the whole cortex becomes liquefied and the nucleus sinks to the bottom of the capsular bag. And in sclerotic cataract, the lens became inspissated due to loss of fluid, and the capsule became shrunken and the jonules became taut, so that there is chance of subluxation. In sclerotic type of hypomature cataract, there is deepening of the anterior chamber due to shrinkage of the lens. Another variety is intumescent cataract. What is intumescent cataract? Where the lens became overhydrated and its shapes became globular, so that the lens pushes the iris anteriorly and there is chance of ankylosing glaucoma. Then nuclear type of cataract. It is usually there is sclerosis of the fibers, so that initially there is index myopia and the progression of nuclear cataract is very slow. The nucleus became either brown or black, and the hypermaturity usually doesn't occur in nuclear type of cataract. But the nuclear cataract is very hard and very difficult to operate, because in phacoemulsification it requires much more energy, and in small incision cataract surgery the wound should be larger than the conventional cortical cataract surgery. ব্যাসই অবধি থাকবে। There are some images. Number one, this is a cuneiform cataract. Just see the triangular opacity. The apex is towards the pupil and the base is towards the limbus. Next is immature cataract, which is grayish white in color. See the mature cataract, pearly white in color. And next is the hypermature Morganian cataract, which is pearly white in color, which is liquefied cortex, and see the nucleus is in the bottom of the lens capsule. Next is anterior polar cataract and posterior polar cataract. Next, see the iris shadow. This is a shadow formed over the anterior capsule of the lens where there is immature cataract. In immature cataract there is some clear space between the cataract and the anterior capsule, and on the cataractous portion the shadow of iris is seen. Next is the difference between immature cataract and mature cataract. Immature cataract, there will be some vision in immature cataract, and in mature cataract only PL will be present. Immature cataract, the pupil will be grayish white in color. In mature cataract the pupil is pearly white. Iris shadow can be seen in immature cataract. Iris shadow cannot be seen in mature cataract. 4 Purkinje image can be seen if the immature cataract is very early, but in mature cataract there will be no 4th Purkinje image. Next, what is complicated cataract? Due to any intrinsic disorder of the eye, may be inflammatory, may be degenerative, that causes hampered in nutrition of the lens. The causative diseases are iridocyclitis, chorioretinitis, high myopia, ciliary body tumor, retinitis pigmentosa, retinal detachment, etc. Features: if there is anterior segment inflammation, nondescript opacification throughout the cortex is present. If there is posterior segment inflammation or retinal detachment, there will be post-cortical or post-subcapsular cataract. The key clinical feature in complicated cataract is breadcrumb appearance with polychromatic luster. Visual problem commences early in complicated cataract, and prognosis after surgery is guarded in complicated cataract. This is a diagram of complicated cataract where there is extensive posterior synechia, that is adhesion between the posterior surface of the lens and anterior capsule of posterior surface of the iris and anterior capsule of the lens. Cataract with some systemic diseases. Diabetes, early onset cortical type of cataract, and sometimes snowflake cataract. Parathyroid tetany, myotonica dystrophy, where polychromatic dots with Christmas tree appearance. Galactosemia, wild droplet cataract, Down syndrome, punctate subcapsular cataract, atopic dermatitis, anterior or posterior subcapsular cataract. This is a diagram of image of diabetic snowflake cataract. This is Christmas tree appearance in myotonia dystrophy, wild droplet cataract in galactosemia, punctate subcapsular cataract in Down syndrome. Next is developmental cataract. May be present at birth, congenital, may develop later. Hereditary, maternal and infantile malnutrition, maternal infection like rubella, that is congenital rubella syndrome, which is very dangerous regarding ophthalmology. Deficient oxygenation in placenta, hypocalcemia. Types: punctate, jonular, fusiform, nuclear, coronary, anterocapsular, pyramidal, reduplicated, posterior capsular. Punctate cataract. This is commonest type of cataract, but usually asymptomatic. Number 1, blue dot. Number 2, sutural anterior axial embryonal. Number 3, cataracta centralis palvarulenta. Jonular cataract. This is not very important, but you have to know it. 50% of visually significant congenital cataract is jonular cataract. Developmental defect at late intrauterine life or early infantile period causes jonular cataract. Usually bilateral. Hereditary tendency, autosomal dominant. Period of malnutrition, particularly lack of vitamin D, may have associated dental defects. Jonular cataract. These are the diagrams of jonular cataract. Management of cataract. Management of cataract. There is no medical treatment. In early cataract, we usually do refraction. In some cases, dilatation of pupil may cause some improvement of vision, but you have to note the anterior chamber depth. And decision to operate depends on patient's visual need. We have to judge the operative prognosis. Good lid condition and hygiene, adequate tear film, clear cornea, absence of any sign of uveitis and glaucoma, normal pupillary reaction, healthy posterior segment. These are good prognostic features. Examination of posterior segment. After full mydriasis, indirect ophthalmoscopy or slit lamp examination with 90 diopter lens If still not visible, examination of the other eye may give some clue. USG of the posterior segment, ERG of fovea, and macular function test. What are macular function tests? These are some clinical tests to assess the function of the macula. The name of the tests are 2-point discrimination test, color perception test, Maddox rod test, and entoptic imagery phenomenon. Preoperative investigations: blood sugar to exclude diabetes, blood pressure control to be done before surgery, intraocular pressure, patency of the nasolacrimal passage, biometry to determine the intraocular lens power. If patient has some cardiac problem, cardiological examination and other relevant tests. What is biometry? To make the patient emmetropic or slightly myopic after surgery, for which we have to do the keratometry, that is estimation of the corneal curvature K value, axial length of the eyeball by USG scan. We use various formula like SRK, SRK2, Hollade, Hofer-Q, etc. Evolution of cataract surgery. In primitive ages, there is a crude procedure called couching. What is couching? You have to give a blunt trauma so that the mature or hypermature cataract dislocated and drops into the vitreous cavity, giving the patient some useful vision. Next come intracapsular cataract surgery, where the whole lens along with its capsule is removed. Next, conventional ECC with sutures. Next, manual small incision cataract surgery. And now the operation of choice is phacoemulsification. Choice of operation: ECC with PCIOL, ICC, and pars plana lensectomy. ECC with PCIOL has three types of surgery. One is conventional, where limbal incision is given with sutures, manual SICS, and phacoemulsification. And in ICC, the whole lens is removed. And pars plana lensectomy is a very different type of surgery which is done in case of some children. Conventional ECC. Disadvantage: large incision from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock will produce more astigmatism and delayed wound healing. Sutures are needed. Suture related complications like irritation, loose sutures, tight sutures, suture abscess, etc. More risky procedure because more chance of vitreous thrust and loss and suprachoroidal hemorrhage. Manual SICS. What are the advantages? The incision is small, about 6 to 7 millimeter, depending on the size of the nucleus, less astigmatism, quick rehab. No suture because of valve action of the wound, so no suture related complication, and safer procedure. Phacoemulsification, where nucleus is pulverized by ultrasonic waves, fragment removed by automated irrigation and aspiration, so small incision is required, about 3 millimeter or less. And in phacoemulsification we use foldable or rollable lenses. ICC, where ECC cannot be done we have to do intracapsular cataract surgery. In subluxation or dislocation of lenses, in that case, we cannot give posterior chamber intraocular lens. Anterior chamber intraocular lens can be given. Large incision, more chance of vitreous loss. Sutures are needed during ICC. Chance of pupillary block glaucoma is much more. PCIOL and ACIOL. PCIOL is more physiological and less complication occurs. ACIOL, more complication like corneal endothelial loss, uveitis, glaucoma, hyphema syndrome, etc. Stop. Treatment of the developmental cataract. Careful assessment of the vision. If vision threatening, cataract surgery to be done as early as possible. Otherwise, there is chance of dense amblyopia. Chance of amblyopia is more in unilateral cataract. Postoperative refractive correction and treatment of amblyopia is important. Treatment modalities: ECC with or without intraocular lens, with anterior vitrectomy, sometimes lensectomy by pars plana approach. Usually IOL is inserted above the age of 2 years. Usually undercorrected in younger children. Next, the complication of cataract surgery. First, preoperative complication. Acute attack of angle closure glaucoma from dilatation of the pupil. Next is anesthetic complication. Hazard with local anesthesia. Less with peribulbar than retrobulbar anesthesia. Lignocaine reaction, anaphylactic lignocaine reaction and cardiac toxicity is very dangerous. Retrobulbar hemorrhage, accidental globe perforation, optic nerve injury, accidental injection into the optic nerve sheath where brainstem anesthesia and death may occur. Retrobulbar hemorrhage, sudden and increasing proptosis, chemosis and subconjunctival hemorrhage. The orbit became taut. Danger of high intraocular pressure and central retinal artery occlusion. We give some firm constant pressure. If no result, canthotomy should be done. Usually we defer the surgery for at least a week. Preoperative surgical complication. Superior rectus brittle suture, accidental globe perforation, muscle injury, hematoma and oculocardiac reflex. Paroperative hemorrhage, expulsive hemorrhage, iris prolapse, posterior capsular rent, jonular dialysis, vitreous loss are some common paroperative surgical complications. Effect of vitreous loss. Postoperative glaucoma may occur. Chance of uveitis is more. Corneal endothelial decompensation, problem in wound healing and vitreous wick syndrome. Chance of endophthalmitis is more. Chance of cystoid macular edema is more, and there is chance of retinal detachment also. Management of vitreous loss. Vitrectomy should be done. Sponge vitrectomy, if possible, automated vitrectomy. Aim to keep the anterior chamber and the wound margin free of vitreous and keep the remaining vitreous behind the pupil, and to keep the vitreous traction as less as possible. Postoperative complication. Immediate and delayed. Immediate postoperative complications are striate keratopathy, where there is some losses of endothelial cells, iris prolapse, flat or shallow anterior chamber due to leakage of aqueous humor, where the valve action of the wound is not very good, residual lens matter, secondary glaucoma, hyphema, that is blood in the antechamber, severe uveitis, and infective endophthalmitis. The delayed complications are posterior capsular opacification, cystoid macular edema, retinal detachment, corneal decompensation, that is bullous keratopathy, pseudophakic bullous keratopathy, and intraocular lens displacement. Subluxation or dislocation of lens, where there is partial tear of zonule, that is called subluxation of lens, and where is total degeneration or tear of zonule, that is called dislocation of lens. Dislocation can be anterior or maybe posterior. Etiology: some congenital or familial causes, but usually dislocation or subluxation occurs in trauma, sometimes in hypermaturity, and in some special cases like Marfan syndrome and homocystinuria. Features: poor vision, uniocular diplopia, problem in accommodation, deep or shallow or irregular unequal depth of anterior chamber, iridodonesis or phacodonesis, that is tremulousness of iris or lens, vitreous in anterior chamber, pupil block can cause glaucoma, may displace the vitreous cavity, may displace into the vitreous cavity where there is aphakia with no history of surgery. Management of subluxation and dislocation. If the lens is opaque, cataract extraction. If the lens is clear, if no other complication like corneal endothelial touch, vitreous in AC, secondary glaucoma, assess best corrected visual acuity. If there is good vision, no intervention. In any complication or poor vision or troublesome diplopia, lens should be removed. What are the treatment modalities in subluxation or dislocation? ICC with or without ACIOL, ICC with scleral fixated PCIOL. If dislocated in vitreous cavity, removed by vitrectomy followed by IOL implantation by scleral fixated PCIOL. Thank you.